Greetings everyone, and welcome back to another in-depth phone review. This one that I'm going to be taking a look at today is a bit of a strange one. I have never seen another phone like this before, and this was discovered on one of my recent live streams when we were just browsing AliExpress and found this weirdo phone and thought, let's take a look at it, why not? And on that same stream was when we found the PP phone, which has gained a lot of notoriety. So if you want to watch that video, if you haven't already, feel free, it's up here. Have a laugh at it. It's a funny one. But apart from that phone, this one that we're going to be having a look at today was highly requested for just, you know, the whole interest of it. Is this thing actually going to be what it says it is? Let's find out and see. Now before I continue on, I'll let you all know now that this is going to be another in-depth video, as usual from me, so this will go for a fairly long amount of time. If you don't want to sit through the whole thing, that's completely understandable. I've left the timestamps in the description below as well as the pinned comment, so you can skip to wherever you need to be. That is absolutely no problems whatsoever. I will extract the system files and put them in the description as well, so you can go through them and see what you can find. And surprisingly, this is not an I Wish episode. It's more, I hope this is going to be good, which I started a series called I Hope and then abandoned shortly thereafter, but anyways, let's just see how we go, because today we are looking at the mobile phone smartphone Protruly Darling D7 4K 360 VR video panoramic camera AMOLED 5.5-inch 4G LTE Full HD mobile smartphone phone. Now just in that title, there was 3 instances of the word phone, which we're off to a good start. Currently it's selling for $112.89, but I paid $127.11 because of tax, and I'll display the currency conversion chart on screen for you all so you have a good idea of what this phone costs around the globe. So what you see is pretty much just a standard bare bones smartphone with a 360-degree camera just plonked on the top of it. So I'm really wondering how well this is going to perform, and if it's worth it, I will leave the link in the description below so you can take a look at it, but there are some red flags which I'll display on screen here. The bundles, you can choose different bundles and stuff like that in the listing that you just seen before, but it says just there about firmware, ROM, and languages. The original firmware supports only English and Chinese. We customized the firmware with multiple languages and Google Play Store. The device firmware is not certified by Google Play Protect certification. I mean, that's not really a big deal anyways. Besides, the phone menu apps are not 100% translated to your local language. A few of them is in English and Chinese language. Language is not a problem because you can still install apps of your local language in the phone. Once again, not a problem. The real RAM is 3 gig, but it displays on the phone as 6 gigabytes in settings, and the real ROM is 32 gigabytes, but it's displayed as 128 gig in settings. So that's a bit of a red flag there, but let's just go along with it for now, because then now we have the actual full specifications, which are listed here, which says we do have the 4K 360-degree camera listed, both cameras there, fingerprint scanner, and AMOLED display on a cheap phone. Is that going to be the case or not? Who knows? Running Marshmallow has a Helio X20 deca-core in it. In networks, we have 2G, 3G, and 4G as well, so we'll test that. Wi-Fi, all that stuff. Battery is rated at 3,560 milliamp hours, and we've got some gravity sensors, light sensors, and all that stuff. You've got the package contents and the bundles once again. So we've got a fair idea of what's going on here, but the listing only shows a few pictures, so we'll quickly take a look at these. And it shows the Helio X20, deca-core, 3 gigs of RAM, and 32 gigabytes of storage. And there's the 360-degree camera. So I can't wait to take a look at this when we unbox it. All-dimensional spherical space imaging. Spherical? Spherical. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it's gonna take some photos looking a little something like that. The camera test is going to be really interesting on this. And here we go, you got someone holding it in the hands, and it just, yeah, it looks like a phone from about 6 years ago with a big huge camera just stuck to the top of it. Kind of reminds me of the Game Boy with the Game Boy camera. Don't know why. Kind of looks the same. On the back there you can see it looks like it has another 2 extra cameras, but I have a feeling these are duds, but we will see. Metal, 5.5-inch AMOLED screen, 2.5D high temperature pressing. I'm not sure what 2.5D high temperature pressing is, but I'll just assume that it means the glass is slightly curved or something. But let's not assume anything. Let's unbox this product, take a look at it, and see if this delivers what it says, or if it's a waste of money. Let's find out. And we have the package right here, which only took about a week to get from China to Australia, which is quite surprising. And the box is actually a fairly big one, so we might get some interesting goodies within here. But it's kind of already taken apart for me, so I don't even need to do anything. That was fairly easy. So here is the box. Protruly, it's like a leather. Oh, by Eton. Okay, eat on a train? I have no idea. Protruly, never heard of the brand, but supposedly they've made some 24 karat gold plated weird phones that are based on this thing. I've got no idea. I did Google the name, but I've forgotten everything about it. And the whole VR thing right there as well. There's some gold accents going on, which means high quality. And flipping it over, there's nothing. And then just taking this piece off. Oh, it's gold. That's... wow. There you go. All the money has went into the box, not the phone itself. Then we've got this flap. Okay, because there's the phone there. Alright, no problems. Got a bit of foam in there. And then this comes off, and look, it's all organised. Just amazing. Okay, so what's in here? What have we got in here? SIM eject tool, and there's a little picture that says instructions, but okay, no problems. The SIM eject tool does have Protruly written on it. We do have the charger. No. Leads. Okay, so we do have a travel adapter. We do have a Type-C USB cable with Protruly written on it. And you do get some earphones as well. Do they have Protruly written on them as well? Probably not. But yes, this phone does have a 3.5mm headphone jack, which is, you know, interesting to see. I mean, considering this phone's fairly old anyways, it's no surprise there. And then we have the charger. Is this even a charger? Oh, it is. Oh, hello. Oh, Protruly. Okay, it's an American one. There it is there. Does it support fast charging? I wonder. It does support fast charging. 12 volts at 1.25 amps. Protruly branded. And it actually does have some weight to it as well. And is there anything else? Oh, nope. It's just glue. That hasn't really worked. That's fine. Cool. Here it is. Alright. Oh. Look at this thing is ugly. It's so weird. It does have an AMOLED display on it because it's got that blue shine to it. It's very hard to see on camera, but it definitely has a blue shine going on there. No screen protector. The glass is slightly curved, which is good. Obviously, the massive camera just stuck right on there. We do have the front camera there, earpiece, the 5.5-inch display, and then flipping it over. So one good thing going about this is that it is all made of metal. Quickly just addressing the build. So this whole entire back is metal. This is glass. There's a lens there. That's covered by glass as well. And the front is obviously glass, and that's also glass. And it's quite heavy and feels good in the hand. If you set this down on a desk, you're going to scratch the camera glass very quickly. That's going to just rub against any surface because it's, you know, got that huge camera shoved in there. So that's not going to be really helpful. Same goes for that side too. It's just gonna rock. They could have at least included a case which maybe had like a grip or something like that on there. Just would have helped, but it is what it is. We've got the branding on the back, fingerprint scanner, the other side of the 360-degree camera. Then we have an unknown camera, probably a dud one. I should have read the specifications properly because this here is actually a temperature sensor, not a dud camera as I thought, because there's no actual glass in there to protect it. It's just straight through, and there's a little tiny, little shiny thing in there, and that is a temperature sensor. So I'll show you that later on. And what looks like a dual tone LED flash. And then down at the bottom, we've got some information saying it's the VR model with LTE, Protruly D7. On the bottom, we do have 2 speaker grills as well as a USB Type-C port. On the side, we have a SIM tray and volume buttons. Other side is just a power button. And on the top of the phone is a hole for a microphone and a 3.5mm headphone jack. But yeah, just camera there and there, just sort of sticks out. A really obscure phone. And just as a bit of a comparison, there's an S21 right next to it. It's, you know, it's a bit big. Just like that. It looks like a normal phone. Nah, it's got that there. It just looks so weird. Alright, popping the SIM tray out. We do have oh, okay. It's this way then. We do have an option to install 1 micro SIM and an SD card, or 1 micro SIM and 1 nano SIM for the dual SIM configuration. But we're going to be going with SD card and a Telstra SIM, and we'll stick that in there. Like so. And it's time to take a look at the Protruly Darling. It does have such a nice name to it though, Protruly Darling. Well, let's see what the startup is. It's charged, it vibrated. Protruly, there it is there. Kind of reminds me of a Poco boot up, you know, with the colour and stuff. Could be just me. There you go. It's booting, we're getting there. Is it going to be setup or no setup? Do we get a sound? No, nope, that's it. Also, if you can hear crickets in the background, I'm sorry, there's crickets outside being a nuisance. But anyways, we've booted up. Holy moly, the screen looks absolutely crystal clear. That is quite amazing. It is an AMOLED display, that's for sure. We do have 4G at the top as well. It's super, super crisp. I'll show you further on when we actually boot into it. I have changed my Wi-Fi names as well to Doom-related ones, because why not? However, my internet is actually not working at the moment. I currently don't have any internet, so I have to hotspot it to my phone. So I'm not going to connect to Wi-Fi as of yet, so we'll just skip this. We may as well set up the fingerprint now, to be honest. Okay. Yep. Oh. Oh. You can do it, buddy. Uh-oh. That's probably not going to be reliable, but alright, no worries. Yes. There we go, we've booted up. That wallpaper is actually very, very nice, I must say, and the icons are also customized to make it look all fancy, because this phone is looking luxurious with the whole gold accents and stuff like that. I'm going to say once again, even though the specs are a bit iffy at this point in time, for $112 Australian, this beats any welcome device, any day of the week, but then again, any device beats a welcome device. Anyways, continuing on, we've got 4G, we've got settings, thermometer on here. Okay, email, Protruly Gallery, phone messages, browser, we've got the VR camera, and then calendar, clock, music, video player, file manager, contact, search, calculator, system tools, which has sound recorder, FM radio, downloads, backup restore, and sim toolkit, battery saver, Gmail, and Play Store. So, pretty much stock. Swiping down, we do have all the options just there. I'll just activate the torch, see how bright this is. It's definitely 2 LEDs in there. It's not the brightest, but it'll definitely do. No other options there, so that's all good. Touching and holding, we've got to look at the wallpapers. Oh, okay, so if you pick image, they've got some... Oh, see the whole 360 degree thing? Oh, that's cool. There's another default one on here, which is... Oh, that's what it's going to look like, hopefully. We'll see. So we've got the Earth wallpaper, the Mars wallpaper, I assume that's Mars, a gold guitar, and then we've got Hollow Spiral. So not a lot of default wallpapers, but the ones included do look pretty nice, but I'm going to stick with the Earth one. Looking at the display though, it's definitely an AMOLED display. And as I said, it is really clear for what it is. Due to this being a fairly outdated device, the bezel sizes are kind of as they are. They could have put a home button here, or double as a fingerprint sensor. That would have been handy. Also, one other thing I didn't know about this, has a notification LED. I mean, for a fairly old phone like this, it was quite common to have a notification LED anyways, but it's good to see it there. We'll jump into settings and take a look through here. Also, you've got this camera sticking in the side of your head when you take a call.
Hello? Yes. Hi. Yes, there is a 360 degree camera shoved in my ear canal. Yes. There is a lamp on the floor. I don't know why. That's probably not my fault. Yeah, no, it's fine. Perfectly fine. Wait, hang on. Sorry, I can't hear you. Oh, now I can hear you. Okay. Alright, that's cool.
Wi-Fi did detect 2.4 GHz as well as 5 GHz networks, Bluetooth, SIM cards, data usage, and more. Mobile networks, we will just check to see if it does actually find Telstra 4G. I think this does have 4G. There it is, Telstra 4G, legit 4G device. I won't do a call test now. After we have a look through settings, then I'll do a call test. In display, we've got clear motion. Oh, does this have a high refresh rate? Let's just leave that on. Mirror vision, brightness level, colors and contrast. Pinch from Samsung, I think. Wallpaper we've been through, sleep, daydream, font size when device is rotated, and cast, all the usual stuff there. Center notifications, yes, best order, best loudness, and best surround, all the greatest stuff from MediaTek. If we take a look at the ringtones, what's the default ring? Oh, they've got their own custom ringtones. Come on, we've got to have a listen to it. Not sure if these are, you know, custom made for this device or pinched from somewhere. These will be in the system files, so that's funky. Feel free to use them. Oh my god, it keeps going. I'll leave it as the first one. I've got to say also, the speaker quality doesn't sound too bad at this point in time, but when we test BFG Division, we'll get a better idea of how that sounds. Application-wise, we'll go through here. I will run the Secret Codes app and see if we can find anything to mess around with any hidden settings, but I'll just scroll through here. There's some VR apps already installed on here. Browser, some media text stuff, I would imagine to see. Yes, there it all is there. Downloads, DRM, engineer mode, that's probably what we can open up. Google Account Manager, I will put a Gmail on here as well. We'll do some gaming on this thing. It's going to be weird to try and play games with that in the way, but we'll see how we go. Phone, Protruly Gallery, Sensor Hub, Setup Wizard, Sound Recorder, System UI, Marshmallow there, Thermometer, Turbo Download, vCalendar, Wireless Update, all that stuff. Looking fairly good. Didn't see anything dodgy in there. Storage and USB does actually say 32 gigabytes, not 128 gigabytes. Okay, so it's not lying. Then that's good. So then if we come down to battery, it was 100% out of the box. I will do a battery test on this as well. After I pause filming, do the camera test, I'll do a battery standby test on this and just see how it performs. And memory, does it say 3 gig? Oh, no, it says 6 gigabytes there, but 3 gigabytes it says on the listing. But we'll check that further on when we get to the specifications, location, security. So we've got the fingerprint set up. So obviously we'll quickly test that. Not the fastest, but it does work. It was a little iffy in rolling my finger, but it seems to work fine now. Doesn't look like there's any face unlock or anything like that, which, honestly, that's quite fine. Accounts, Google, language and input, backup and reset, date and time, all that sort of stuff. Accessibility options, which has all the usual stuff in there. And in About Phone, shows system update, wireless update. In status, holy moly, we do have a unique serial number. With cheap devices, I'm just not used to this, but there you go, unique serial number. Android 6, go on. Watch me fail in 3, 2, 1, fail. Yep, there you go. Can never win this game. We've got a GSM baseband version there. We've got a CDMA baseband version, listed 2017. So yeah, this phone's looking to be about 5 years old. That's why it's so cheap. Build number, and it shows the battery capacity in settings, which is quite fine, 3560 mAh. So I've just set up Wi-Fi on this. I'm using my phone as a hotspot. It'll do for now. And if I go to About Phone and System Update, do we get any updates? It would be great if we do. Nope, okay. Try this wireless update, which never works. I've never seen this work before, but go on. Prove me wrong. Oh, okay. Network connection failed. Well, it's fine. Should be good. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get anything there. The phone is starting... Oh, I left the torch on. I was going to say... The phone's starting to get a little warm, so I fixed that problem, but yeah, it's starting to get a little warm there. Not too bad though. They said about the Chinese applications as well, but none of that's on here, so the only thing of concern so far is the RAM and the processor. That's the only concerns, but everything else is seeming to be quite good at this point in time. Alright, so I'm going to give this a quick call. Oh, so the bands listed on AliExpress may not be compatible with Telstra. I will quickly switch SIM cards. Alright, let me try Vodafone now. Should be compatible with Vodafone. I'd say it would be. No. Vodafone doesn't work either. Okay, this is not looking good. I mean, the 4G band list on AliExpress was very limited. There was like 3 bands for 4G and that was it. Alright, let's try Optus and see if this works. There we go.
Okay, here we are testing the earpiece quality of the Protruly Darling D7 mobile phone. This is the quality on 3G with Optus. Unfortunately, it doesn't work with Vodafone and Telstra, so can't do terribly much about that with the limited band support, but it is what it is. It should sound reasonable, I guess. And microphone quality for the Protruly Darling D7 sounds a little something like this. And what's happening right now is the 360-degree camera is right in my ear, which is a bit uncomfortable, I guess. It's really strange to just have it there. But this is what it sounds like. I hope it sounds somewhat reasonable. I mean, for a phone that costs $115 Australian, it should be more than acceptable.
But I think you're all wanting to see the main attraction of this is the camera. This thing here. So if we open this up, oh boy, here we go. Oh, allow camera to act. Yep, that'll do. Okay. Has autofocus. Okay, so you've got your standard 13 megapixel camera. I'd say that's a 13 megapixel one. And then I think if we open this up, it clicked. Oh, look at that. This is extremely weird. You can see my desk and that's... Okay. Alright, so let's go over what we've got here. We've got the standard 13 megapixel rear camera, which it says just there, and then you can go to video settings, and the video quality is fine. It says 4K, 2K, but it actually is 4K. And you do have options for EIS, but otherwise fairly basic within here. And then if we switch to video, you can go into settings and do everything there. Switching to the 8 megapixel front camera, yep, 8 megapixels, and we do have EIS on the front camera, but the 360 degree camera, there you go. Now there's a number of different things that you can do with this. I'm filming this bit after I've had an actual play around with this phone. This is probably why this part doesn't make a lot of sense, but just go along with it. So you've got this sphere on screen, that's the 360 degree camera. You go into settings, and go into here, you've got the ISO, shutter sound, and the video quality is high, but I had it as fine when I done the video tests. You can do something kind of cool though, and that's down the bottom here. You can go to logo selection, and you can actually change it to one of your own. So I've put my logo on here, and you can crop that and save it. When we go back to the 360 degree video, my logo's there, which you can't really see right now, but let me just swivel it around, and there you go, you can see it right there. So you will actually see this during the camera test, but it's kind of a bit stretched out. So I was a bit concerned with how this was going to turn out in the camera test, but I'll talk about that after I show you all that. But within here though, you can just zoom in, and then you can just go all around and see everything that's going on, and it's just really nifty. You can zoom in and out, all that sort of stuff. It reckons it does have autofocus, but I don't think it does. I think it's just fixed. But yeah, isn't that just cool? And that whole logo thing stays for the video as well. VR small video just takes a very small video to share on like social media and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much the camera setup. So now I'll jump into showing you all the photos and videos that I did take with this. But given the price though, let's see how we go. Okay, and this is the rear camera quality of the Protruly Darling D7, and we have autofocus, which does work. This is with EIS on as well, and I'd say that's working. All the flowers and stuff, just go for a bit of a zoom in and a pan. Look good. This is in 4K, 2K. 3 Muppets, just like so. Looking quite nice in the colour department, I think, and detail-wise as well. There we go. There's Ripley. Hello. Hi. Hi. You can see I'm recording with the Protruly. Can you actually see it? Brick wall pan just like so. Ah yeah, I can see the stabilization kicking in just there. Nice. We scroll down to Stuart. Looking a little something like that. And finally the faraway aircon and the nice sky as well. We go like so. There you go, you can see it says breeze there. Nice. And going back out. Look at the clouds. Not bad. Hopefully this doesn't turn out to be bad quality. And with the LED flash on at night, this is what the Protruly Darling looks like. You can't have the flash on when you're using the 360 degree camera, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. But yeah, the LED flash is actually not too bad. At least you can see the frogs, unlike some of the other phones I've had a look at where the LED flash is on, you can't see anything. Testing the front camera quality of the Protruly Darling D7. I think that's the name of it. This is with EIS on, and you can actually see it. You can actually see it stabilizing. Do we have any autofocus? No, we don't. But you know what? This actually doesn't look too bad at all. No beauty mode or anything like that on the front camera. It's just a very standard one. But you know what? It works fine. But I'm happy with that. So let's continue on. What the hell is VR Small Video? I just found VR Small Video in settings. I don't know what that does. Does it do anything? Okay, so this is what 360-degree video footage looks like on the Protruly Darling D7. Now, I already done a test video, and what happens is the sphere on screen that you've seen during when I was having a look at the camera, you can actually swivel this around to show, you know, my surroundings and stuff. You can't see this, but I can on the phone. I'll show you this when I finish the camera test. I'll show you this happening and all that sort of stuff. But I would say if you put this in a VR headset, it should work, because you can see both sides of the whole 360-degree thing. But yeah, I can move this around and see my surroundings and stuff, because it's just a ball, but you can see everything that's going on. But if I walk around like so, you should be able to see my feet, you should be able to see the ground, you should be able to see the sky, you should be able to see everything. But I may look a little bit distorted. I will use some footage from the previous one, because you could put a watermark. It had Darling written there, and that was sort of used to center the camera and stuff, but pretty much you can take that away. You can put your own logos there if you want to. So, oh, I could put SMOOREZ there. Let me go put it there and we'll be back. There we go, and the sun's out now. I did check over the quality of the video, and it's not the best at 4K. I mean, considering the setup we have and everything. It will do if you want a 360-degree cheapo camera phone thing that can do this. It's pretty cool, and your own logo, and just, it's cool. I think Huawei had a little attachment for some of their phones that you could add a 360-degree camera on, but I don't know how well that sold. These things probably don't sell well, obviously, and you should be able to see Ripley there. It just looks cool. Hang on, if I, oh yeah, I can move it around, and she's right there. She's wondering why I'm outside. I'm sorry. Look, you can see also the distance between Three Muppets and Froggos as well, and just, I've never noticed this before. Did someone spray paint this? Has someone been out here being a dick? Probably. I don't know. But that's, yeah, that is the 360-degree camera on the Protruly Darling. I think we've seen everything we need to say on this, so let's continue on with this review. Okay, so you've just seen the photos and videos that I took with the Protruly Darling D7, and straight away, I'll just quickly say, the 13-megapixel back camera, acceptable. 8-megapixel front camera, acceptable. It only does 640 by 480 video. It will do. We do have autofocus on the rear camera, which is good, but the 360-degree camera is what we're here for. And as you can see, this sphere on screen is the whole entire image, but unfortunately, in the camera test, it's all just like that. There's one bit over there, and then it sort of warps and goes like that. The logo's all over the place, but you can see me interacting with Ripley right there. That is just absolutely amazing. You'd need a VR headset to really get the experience properly, but just the fact that you can also do this with the pictures that you take, you either need a VR headset to experience this, or use the phone to just, you know, do that and go, look how cool it is. But the quality at 4K is not exactly, you know, super clear, and as I said, I don't think there's any autofocus going on here, but for what it is, I think it is really cool that this thing can pull off 360-degree video in 4K. Most likely it's 1080p but upscaled. It looks cool. You can have your own logo. You can have a look at it on the phone and go, look at all this. But if you share this photo, it will just appear like I showed in the camera test, all stretched out sort of thing. But you can see just in the album, you can see what the photos and videos would look like with the 360-degree camera. I had a blast filming with it. I think you would have been able to tell that during the videos that I took with this. I honestly thought for the price, there'd be something going on with it, but it seems to be legit. So I'm very happy with that. And as I said, for the actual rear camera and front camera, the pictures are okay. They're acceptable. I've spent up to $250 on clones that take absolutely terrible pictures. This phone seemed too good to be true, and it's taken decent pictures. I'm really happy with this. And there's Ripley too. So now it's a matter of moving into the performance. Is this phone going to be decent in the performance department? Well, we'll see how we go with that. But I also just want to quickly talk about the battery. I'm going to splice in the screenshots just here of the battery life. So over 44 hours, it dropped from 100% to 39%, and we approximately had 17 hours left. But that's just standby though. When you start actually using the phone, the battery percentage does drop quite fast. So if you were to buy this phone, I would say you would have maybe a day of usage, but depending on what you do though, you may have to charge it halfway through the day though. However, there is one good thing that I can confirm with this, and that it does have fast charging. I used a 15-watt Samsung charger, and it was at the 39%. About an hour and 20 minutes later, it was at 100%. So 15-watt fast charging on this cheap unit. That's not bad considering. So far we have a good build, really good screen, pretty cool gimmick, half decent battery life, fast charging, all for a pretty low price. It is looking fairly good. So let's start testing out applications on this phone. I've installed apps already, haven't opened them though, but we'll just go through as we always do. Just start with each application, which there's not a lot here, but without further ado, let's go. So thermometer, there it is there. So as I said during the introduction for this device, I thought that was a dud camera, but no, that's the temperature sensor. And if I just put my finger over it like so, it rises. Let go, it drops. Rises, drops. And the temperature in my office at the moment appears to be 25.3 degrees, with some heat obviously coming from the phone. It's kind of cool to have a temperature sensor on here. Just something I didn't expect this to have, and it does. Just stick to the forehead can be. Okay, so you're saying I just do this? I don't think that worked. What? Meatball? What is this? Okay, that's completely fair. That sounds so depressing. Oh wait, now I hold it up to my head. Take the phone sensor on forward, then keep a while can get the body temperature. Alright. Take it that worked. There you go. My temperature, according to my forehead, is 36.2 degrees Celsius. That means I'm healthy, I think. I mean, in the last 2 years, there's been a rise of having to use thermometers out in the world and stuff. So with this, having it inbuilt, yep, test your friends, go, yep, no, you're good, mate, you're good. Oh, nope, you're not good. Get out of my house. So yeah, everything's good. Email is email. Protruly Gallery is where you can see all the 360-degree shots that you've taken, all the normal photos and all that sort of stuff. It does have albums, and then you also have a cloud album which you need to create an account for. I haven't done that. But otherwise, I've already talked about the camera quality and showed the sphere on screen where you can move it all around. So we'll continue on. Phone, messaging, browser. There's no Chrome on here, so we'll just test default browsing. What's the default web page? I guess we'll just allow everything. Yep, okay. We'll just type in Protruly D7, and we just have some technical specifications just here on some website. GSM choice, okay. And if we just scroll down, that is exactly what I'm looking at. Your rating, 7.26. Design, 7.82. Features, 6.69. No, it's got a lot of features. What are you talking about? But yeah, it's got all the specifications, just listed like so, which says the Helio X20. And yeah, now it's 2016. It is an old phone, but as I said, I'm fairly impressed with it so far. For the amount of features that it does have, it's pretty good. And web browsing doesn't seem to be an issue. If you install Google Chrome, of course, then you're probably going to have less issues, but the default browser does work. Things load pretty fast. Like so. Also, that's not correct. That shouldn't be correct. $232. No, that's definitely not correct. That's correct. There we go. There it is there. So I will link this down in the description below. If you want to buy one, feel free. Go ahead. Because, yeah, it's pretty good for what it is. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. I've got to make sure the specifications are correct first. Browsing, no problems. Not bad at all. Calendar looks like a calendar. Nothing special. Clock looks like a clock. Nothing special. Music, BFG division time. Here we go. So we'll crank this all the way up. Not bad. That's loud. Leave the equalizer. This is all default. Here we go. Only one speaker, unfortunately. It's a bit flat. I mean, the equalizer was flat or default, so that kind of makes sense. If you bump it down a little bit, it's not too bad. Wait, it's louder when you bump it down? No, there we go. Look, it gets louder when you bump it down. Nothing special. It's fine. The speaker quality is definitely a lot better than the Wacom devices we've had a look at. While there's no dual speakers or anything like that, it's alright. Video player is just going to show the videos that I took with this, which I can show you the VR video if you'd like.
First time you
also see me interacting with Ripley. Hello. Boo. Oh, boo. Oh, boo.
And see, that's much better. You need the actual device, or VR, to...
Look at you, look how chunky you are.
And look, you could do that too.
Yes. Yes. So adorable. Adorable. Yes. Adorable. Yes. You have no idea what's going on. You have no clue. Absolutely no idea. Up you go. Up you go. Yeah? They can't sniff me, silly.
And even while it's paused, you can still go around and have a look. Did I mention how cool the 360-degree camera is? It's pretty awesome. File Manager does show 128 gigs of internal storage. I have connected this up to my computer, and it does say 32 gigabytes there, so hopefully there's a system app that we can use to change it back to 3 gigs of RAM and the actual internal storage of 32 gigabytes, but we'll see when we get to that. Contacts. Search is just gonna do search for applications and stuff on the phone. Standard Gboard as well. Calculator looks like a calculator, nothing too spectacular there. System tools, we do have sound recorder, what does that look like? Usual MediaTek one. FM radio, time to test the FM radio then. Weird that the headphone jack's right up here. You know, you'd think it'd be down here possibly, but nah. What's on Australian radio at 12:25 AM on a Wednesday morning? Safe to say that does work, and that also goes back to the speaker test. While BFG Division isn't exactly the best thing to use for speaker tests, I'm just used to it. If you did play normal music through this, it is going to be more than acceptable. It's just, I use BFG Division for all my tests and just go on how it sounds. I'm not a sound guy, I can't really say much. Downloads, Backup Restore, Sim Toolkit, don't need to look at them. The next we have is Battery Saver, which you've got Running App, Whitelist, and Clean, which I didn't use this while doing the battery test, but if we go Clean, it does that, and that's it. Pretty much just closes background apps and that's about it. So it's not really a battery saver or anything, it just closes. No, it didn't close everything, it didn't work. Lastly, we've got Gmail and then Play Store. We don't have YouTube on here. Let's grab YouTube, because we want to show the full potential of this display, playing 1080p video. With it being 25 degrees in here as well, the phone is starting to get fairly warm on the back. When we do play games, it's probably going to heat up a little bit, and if we do have the MediaTek deca-core that is in here, that's the first deca-core we'll see on the channel, number one, and second, that's probably going to run hot, and that's the reason why it's running hot. That whole bit just didn't make sense, just agree with me. So, 1080p, 60 frames a second, holy moly, here we go. So this is Costa Rica in 1080p, 60 FPS on the Protruly Darling. That looks pretty nice. Yeah, that's... the quality hasn't kicked in yet. There we go, quality's kicked in now. Yeah, that looks nice. Oh, that's smooth. That's really good. Just take a look at that, man. Wait for the insects, or whatever's next, I can't remember. There you go, look at them. Look at that. That is impressive. A little froggy, he's cute. That is a good display. YouTube 1080p, no problems. No problems whatsoever. Well done, Protruly. Well done, you're doing a good job. So pretty much performance-wise is looking fairly good for this. And if we open up this folder that I have here, I've got device info hardware, CPU-Z, secret codes, activity launcher, system info, GTA 3, which does run on everything and anything, but I figured I'd put it on here just in case. Call of Duty, which, yeah, will push this phone to its potential. I did try to look up Genshin Impact and Ark Survival Evolved, but they didn't come up on the Play Store, so obviously not compatible with this phone. And lastly, we've got Minecraft Trial. Let's try performance on this and play some games. I'm going to start with GTA 3 first, because we know that that's going to run fairly smooth, but I'll show you it anyways. It also gives me a chance to get used to gaming with this sticking right there. It would have been cool if they included like a little analog stick here or something like that. That would have also been awesome, but it already has enough features, man. It's good. Oh, speakers sound a little distorted there, but yeah, that's pretty much like 60 FPS. Oh, Banshee.
So you better drive, brother.
Drive is what I shall do. Get in the fucking car. Whee! Whoa, whoa. Yeah, that's fairly smooth. Why do I have to run over people every time I play this? It's actually a little choppy. That's a truck. That's a car. That's another truck. I'm looking at the viewfinder, not the screen. This works. I did chuck everything on maximum though, so it's smooth and then it's laggy and then it's choppy and all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, it is GTA 3 and it does work pretty well. Mad Skills. Minecraft is up next, which I think should run perfectly fine, to be fairly honest. Oh, this is new. Okay. Yeah, that's at 60 FPS pretty much. Let's walk over to a chunk of land. It is weird holding it like the way I am, because it's a bit uncomfortable. I don't think I've ever swam in any of my Minecraft test video gaming tests things. Yeah. I mean, I'm currently walking on ice. Thin ice. I'm sort of aiming for this chunk of land here to see if it dips. I don't think it would. Nah, it's good. There's a bear! Holy shit, there's a polar bear. There's a polar bear. I've never seen a polar bear in Minecraft. I don't play Minecraft that often anyways. Not at all anyways. This is nice and smooth, so no problems there. But now Call of Duty is the most intensive game that I thought of to play on this thing. Let's give it a go. Oh, it's really warm there. It's really, really, really warm. I could have put PUBG on here as well, but I think Call of Duty should be fine. So I had to stop filming because I had to complete the tutorial and stuff, and then when I actually got into gameplay, it was set to all low. I kind of went, okay, went to settings, and I couldn't change anything past low. So I've went on to Google and tried to find a graphics tool to try and bump up the settings, and supposedly I've got one, so let's see if this has worked. But I basically just put it on the maximum settings that I can go to, just to test performance anyways, because when I played it earlier in low quality, it was completely fine, but I just want the graphics to just be a little bit higher and the screen resolution to be at 1080p, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, see, it's still set on low. But just by playing the tutorial, which takes 5 minutes or so, the battery life drained from 83% down to 59%, and it's also extremely warm as well. But yeah, graphic quality is low, so I can't really show you too much. It looks like this, it looks okay, but that's all I can really do. It is smooth because it's all on low. I can just run around and you can see everything. And honestly, thinking about it now, I probably should have put PUBG on here, but I think you get the idea that gaming is no problems on this. If we had 4GB of RAM, we could probably get Ark Survival Evolved on here, or Genshin Impact. I'm not too sure of the requirements actually. Regardless, I think gaming's okay on this. It's just uncomfortable because of that, and the battery life is questionable, and the device is getting extremely hot. So I think with that out of the way, let's just jump straight into, that's the tool I downloaded there. No idea. Google, man. All sorts of random crap on there. Let's go in straight into specifications and check out this. So, device info, hardware. What have you got to tell us? It is the Protruly D7 1920 by 1080 with the MT6797 running Marshmallow. We've got a whole bunch of stuff there. 3GB of DDR3 at 1800. Okay. SanDisk DF4032, 32GB. Also got a bunch of the camera modules as well. The system on chip is the Helio X20 series, which is a deca-core. First deca-core on this channel. That is amazing. The Mali T880 MP4 GPU, which definitely would have helped in the gaming department. System, Marshmallow, all that good stuff there. Let's do the screen test as well. What, 10-point multi-touch? 10-point multi-touch. 10-point multi-touch. Nice. 60Hz refresh rate, 16:9 aspect ratio, and 5.5 inches, all correct. 3GB of RAM, as we know, and 32GB of internal storage. The cameras. So we've got the back one being 13.4 megapixels, then we've got the front one being 8.3, then we've got the back one being 13.4, and then the front one being 13.4. Battery, 3729 mAh is the kernel profile. 41 degrees we're at with just the battery. If we go to thermal, we've got 60 degrees in there. The CPU at 42 degrees. It would have been a lot hotter running Call of Duty. And just holding it now, it's still warm, but it is cooling down. It'll be interesting to see what cooling they've implemented into this, if they've done anything. But otherwise, okay. Let's try the next app, which pretty much should tell us everything that we need to know. Protruly D7, yes, MT6797, Android 6. It is a Helio X20 that is in here, which is pretty, yep, 10 cores. Deca-core processor. I mean, 4 cores are active out of the 10, but it's a Deca-core for the first time. Total memory, that's confirmed, 3GB, 5.2 inches. Not correct, but close enough. Thermal, 41 degrees, so yeah, it's starting to cool down. Cameras, what do you say? So 13 megapixels, 8.1 megapixels, then 13 megapixels, then 8.1 megapixels. Okay, so if I'm reading this correctly, that means this is 8.1 megapixels and that's 13 on the back, 8.1, 13. That could be the case, but then that doesn't really make sense. We'll have to tear it down to get a better look at it, because all it says is just that it's a 360-degree camera, and that's exactly what it is. Finally, secret codes. So we've got engineer mode, which is just the usual MediaTek menu, and then all I've got is settings, which is phone information, all that stuff. No, there's nothing in here. Okay, activity launcher then. Let's look for any dodgy stuff. That's dodgy. Where would it be? Well, I've looked through this entire list and I don't see anything that could possibly change the specs back to the legit stuff. So maybe in the system files that I'll dump from this, if you can go through and try and find the application that may be the one to change it, it's probably something here that I'm not seeing, but we know the real specs anyways. But there's only one way to actually check, and that's to tear it down. We're pretty much done with looking through absolutely everything on this phone. So straight off the bat, I'm going to say battery's going to be a bit iffy. Less than a day depending on what you do. This is a phone from 2017, so can't expect much there, and for the price range as well. It does get quite warm while using it, and it is running an outdated version of Android, and network support is extremely limited, with 3G shutting down this year in Australia, and with only 2 or 3 bands for 4G, it's gonna be pretty much unusable for Australia, but around the rest of the world should be okay, because around the world still has 2G and 3G running, so that should be okay. Before Australia, only Optus would work and pick up phone calls. But apart from that though, we've got a good build, good display, reasonable cameras. The main gimmick, the 360-degree camera, works great. The performance of this unit is actually pretty good. 3 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of storage, Helio X20 deca-core processor, USB Type-C, speaker that's not the best, but it'll do. We've got a headphone jack, fingerprint scanner. It's not a bad phone. It definitely isn't perfect by any means, but once again, that price range, for something like this, I would recommend it just to play around with the camera. To be fairly honest, everything else is just a bonus from there. This isn't a welcome device, so it's quite a change buying something that's cheap and expecting the worst, but we've actually got something that I can sit back and go, if you have $120 Australian laying around and like to play around with gadgets and tech and all that sort of stuff, give this a go. But that rambly conclusion, my friends, means that we are nearing the teardown. I'm going to need to dump the system files off this first, so I'll have to factory reset this, and then we'll prepare for the teardown. I'll go ahead and switch it off, just so you can see what the power off animation looks like, which there is none. Just power off and that's it. And we'll take this thing apart somehow. Now, there's 2 screws holding it together. This, I have a feeling we have to warm up and remove the glass to get to it. This may be a very complicated teardown, but we'll see how we go. Back in a moment. Now I believe this does have 2 pentalobes holding it together. No, it does not. So I've got 2 Torx 2 screws that hold the bottom together, so I'll take these screws out of it, and then it's a matter of, now what? Does the screen lift out first, or what happens here? Oh shit, I switched it on. Damn it. Okay, so do we just adhere? Oh shit. Okay, let me just say, that was very terrifying to disassemble because I've got an AMOLED display on here. I need to be super, super careful with this. Also, I should have done a bend test, but I really kind of want to keep this working. Okay, so that happened. Dang it, that was not supposed to happen. That's kind of bad. It's okay, it goes back together. That's the main part. Alright, so it looks like just 2 more screws. I literally have no clue how this thing comes apart, I'm just guessing. Take the screws out at the bottom, and you pry up along the sides of the frame, and then you take the glass off at the top, and then you get access to everything in here, I assume. That should be it. There's another screw here. Okay, that was tedious. Solid piece of aluminium, or aluminum, and it's all machined, as you can see there, which is quite nice. Fingerprint scanner is just connected by a flex ribbon, and yeah, there's no protection there, it's just straight through. 360-degree camera, and we've got the glass there for the camera. I didn't think it would be all one unit. I thought this would come off and then this would be separate, but it's not, and I broke it. Well, it's still fine. Also, I need to check to see if I killed the AMOLED or not, because there was a lot of crunches and cracks and bangs and ugh. Oh, okay, it works still. Oh, I thought I had killed it. Now, all the screws are also different sizes, so be careful with that. Unplugging the battery, like so. Also looks like we've got 2 magic pull tabs. Oh, yep, they're pull tabs. I think. Are they pull tabs? Oh, Alrighty. Taking a better look at our battery, no disassembling, striking, extruding, or throwing to fire. If the battery began to swell out, please don't use it. Do not put it into high temperature environment. If the battery is soaking, please don't use it. Please. Oh, that's good. There's also a barcode there. If anyone wants to Google that, feel free. All right, I'll take the bottom plastics out and we'll have a look at them before we get to the motherboard itself. And then just lifting off the speaker is just like so. You can actually see it exposed. Just in there. It's not the most powerful speaker in the world, we can all agree on that, but once again, it will do. But no waterproofing or anything like that. We do have the coin-style vibration motor that is soldered to the bottom PCB here, the USB Type-C port, microphone, signal wire connecting that, flex ribbon connecting that to the top of the board, and we do have some copper just behind the screen, so we may actually have some cooling when we get to up here, which we may as well go to up here. So there's a 360-degree camera with, I guess, 2 flex ribbons. Let's get the board out first so we can take a proper look at it. Disconnecting the flex ribbons and the volume buttons as well as the power button. I can just take these 2 screws off that hold the camera in place as well as the motherboard, I assume. I'll tell you what, this is the most scariest teardown I've ever had to do because there's just so much at stake here. And I just lost a screw. Genuinely like this phone, and I don't want to destroy it. Taking off that little bracket, we can disconnect the 2 cables for the big camera, and I think this whole thing should just pop out. I am having some difficulties with pulling out the motherboard, but there is our 13 megapixel rear camera just there. No OIS, but it does have a code on there if I can try and show you it. There you go. Just there. The 8 megapixel camera is just this little one. It's a little hard to see the code there, but it definitely has one. There is the 360-degree camera. So we'll wait till last to come back to that. Googly-eyed thing. There was a whole bunch of hidden screws. It's okay. I've got it now. This should just pop out. There we go. That is the frame, and there's no cooling, it's just the metal frame that the processor sits on, earpiece with mesh over it, hole for the proximity sensor and the front camera, and places for the other bits and pieces to rest on, but that is pretty much our screen there. So that is looking definitely a bit strange. It is pretty much just from there on a normal phone, and then all this is added on. Taking a closer look at this weirdo motherboard, the dual LED flash is just there, some contacts, the temperature sensor, and that also has a microphone attached to the same flex ribbon, volume keys, power key, headphone jack, and then swapping it over is the earpiece right in the middle of the motherboard. Just looks really weird. Then we have these sensors, and then we have a QR code there. If anyone wants to scan that, feel free. I wonder where that'll take you to. SIM card slot, I'd say that what we want to see is under here. I just want to see if it's a Helio X20 or not. And there's only one way we're going to find out, I think. Brute force. Never mind, I shouldn't have started to do that. That's okay, I'll just pop that back down into place. We do have an Alpida module for the memory, I assume. No, that said it was SanDisk. Okay, so that means the processor is here? Or is that it there? It has to be. Well, that's it there. There's a code just on there like so. That appears to be it. I'm kind of scared to tear it down any further. So what I'll do is I'll just put this back into place and we'll pretend like that never happened. See, you'd never know. Because I'm just not confident about tearing this thing down, I've just plugged it back in and we'll just power it on and see if anything happens. Okay, oh, alright, that's good. That's good, progress. I didn't kill the AMOLED. That's what I'm most worried about, is killing this thing. It still works. Now if we switch to that one, the VR camera is unusable, unable, open. Well, I'm happy that it still works. Well, for the main event itself, here it is, the 360-degree camera. I don't really want to take this apart, but I just kind of want to see how it works. But yeah, as far as I know, it's 2 ultra-wide sensors with some extra stuff in there. That's all I know. I just took off a bit of plastic there, and there is the innards. I don't know what I'm looking at here. And that one too. Pretty much that's one whole assembly right there. So you've got both connectors on that side. I tried to remove these, but these are stuck down. And then you've got some glue in here holding down whatever that is. But I'm going to have to look up how one of these actually works, because at the moment, yeah, I can see right through that. Don't know if you can too. You can see right through here. Yeah, you've got the 2 lenses. There's codes on them as well. Just there and there as well. I've never been able to see one of these, you know, fully taken apart, so I may have to do a bit of research and all that sort of thing, because I don't want to destroy this. As much as I'd love to see the innards and the sensor sizes and stuff, I don't want to do it. I'm sorry, I can't. It actually looks like Wheatley from Portal 2. It's kind of cute. It's just one solid piece of plastic that I'd have to break through to get into there to see the innards, and I just don't want to do that. I'm sorry. But I guess it is pretty cool to have a look at it close up and, you know, see the dual flex ribbons and the two ultra-wide lenses and stuff. I assume each ultra-wide lens is 180 degrees, and that's how you get 360. But that means I now have to put this thing back together. I've partially assembled it, and hopefully it all still works. I think it should. Even though I pulled some of the shielding off, it should still somewhat operate, hopefully. I just snappity snapped the snaps. I never ever want to take this apart again. And if someone has to take one of these apart, oh boy. I'll just let everyone know now that the teardown took about an hour and a half to do, roughly. No, about an hour. About an hour. Let's see if this still works. Yep. I heard a click. Uh-oh. Yep, it's fine. Oh, yay, we did it. I'll definitely have to Google the chip that we've seen on the motherboard just to confirm what that is. I trust it's the Helio X20 with 3GB of RAM and 32GB of storage. There we go. Look, it's not perfect, but it will do. But I think that is absolutely everything that I need to cover on the Protruly Darling D7. As I've already said in the long rambly conclusion, for the money, it's worth it just to play around with. Were you expecting this to be the real deal, or did you think that it was all going to be false specifications and stuff? I honestly thought it may have been, but there's videos out there that show the thing working. I'm just glad everything turned out well in the end. I'll leave a link in the description below, but otherwise everyone, that is going to do it for this very, very long in-depth review of the Protruly Darling D7 360-degree phone. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed this video for what it was. I hope I've covered absolutely everything. If I've missed anything, please feel free to let me know. And also, I always tell you at the end, but timestamps and all that stuff is in the description as well, so you can skip to wherever you want to be. If you want to see the teardown, if you want to see the specs, which were at the start, everything makes complete sense and I'm sure you'll understand it. And the system files are also in the description as well, so feel free to go through them and see what you find. I did quickly go through them and I seen this. This is just adorable. So thank you very much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you got some entertainment out of this video, just showcasing what an obscure phone this is. I'll never see another Protruly, I don't think, unless someone wants to find one for me and let me know. But otherwise, Protruly did make a solid phone, so I will applaud them on that. Now stay tuned as well, because I am reviewing a laptop in the next video, which is a very exciting one, I will say that. So if you are into laptops, stick around for that. But otherwise everyone, thank you so much for watching once again. I appreciate it so much. I also thank everyone for the recent jump in support and stuff. It's just been amazing. So I can see I am doing something right, and I'll just keep continuing to do my thing and see how we go. Take care, stay safe, be good people, and I'll see you all in the next video, which should be me having a look at a laptop, which is gonna be a very rambly one, just like this video. Anyways, would you have one of these in your collection, or use one on a daily basis? Well, let me know down in the comments below. I'd be interested in hearing about it. Take care everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Greetings everyone, and welcome back to another in-depth phone review where I yell at the camera because I want to get rid of the crickets in the back. Fuck the crickets! Goddamn cricket! Fuckers! Fucking stupid fucks. Okay. Crickets. God! Shut up! Trying to do something here, man. Shh. Ah! Yeah, shut up. I'll come out there and stomp on you. Alright, now I'll actually start. We do have the 4K 360-degree... Shut up, cricket! Fuck off, crickets. Don't shut up. If you like this content, feel free to leave a like or a dislike if you didn't. Thanks heaps for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.